I'm Allie with Allie's Organics. Today we're going to talk about Down to Earth's Acid Mix 436. Its uses, how to use it, and some of the things that it's good for, and it's specially blended for blueberries, rhododendrons, azaleas. It's even good on raspberries. For areas like us where we have a high pH and we need to bring it down, Acid Mix is exceptional for this. So for our raspberries in this area, to get them to grow, we need something to acidify that soil. So we'll use the Acid Mix for this, and I'll show you how. For a pot that's about, I guess this is about a 10-gallon pot, we're going to use a cup of the Acid Mix. And I'll just come in here and I'll sprinkle it over the surface. And we do want to work this in a little bit. So if we can't work it in because we have roots on the surface, we can work it in with our hands or one of these little cultivating rakes. But this is pretty loose, so I'm just going to do it with my hands, just the first couple of inches. But if there's a lot of roots on the surface, we would probably just want to put some mulch over the top of this rather than disturb those root systems. Just work this in really good. And it's as easy as that. So the times that we would be doing this is when they are actively growing in the beginning, in the springtime. So March is a good time for us here, so depending on when your plants are starting to actively grow, and then again when they start to bloom. So here's a good time for us to be doing this. So we're starting to get the blossoms on. So this encourages more blossoms at this time. So once you get this in here, water it in, and we'll show you how to do strawberries next. Okay, we're in our strawberry bed now, and so we're going to go ahead and fertilize this. So in the early spring, we want to use this acid mix when things are actively growing. So generally around here for us in our zone 8, that's March. And then we fertilize again when we start getting the blossoms on there. The reason we do this is because the fertilizer helps them actively get growing and helps them to set blossoms, but once they set blossoms, we want to kind of plump those blossoms or that fruit up so that they're sweeter and bigger and the plants stay super healthy because this is when they're actively producing. And so it's easy enough done. We are going to use, this is actually my second feeding on them, so I'm going to half that rate. You could go the full 5 pounds per 100 square foot if you felt like your plants were not super healthy. But I err on the less side with most things. And so I'll just come in here and I will just go through this whole entire bed and sprinkle my acid mix. You can use a cultivator rake to work this in. But if you're worried about getting your roots, or you can't because maybe things are rather thick and your berries are in the way, you could actually come in here, and here's just another excuse to add some mulch to your plants. The mulch is great because it's going to help hold in moisture, and it's just another way to add organic matter. Acid Mix has kelp meal in it, which is a really good mineral for things, and it seems to sweeten things up and helps them with the stresses of plants. It also has humic acids in it, so that helps the plants uptake any nutrients that you've added into the soil. So once you've done this, water this in, and then in the fall is another good time to apply your acid mix fertilizer. So I usually do it about September. These are ever-bearing and they keep on going, and this just keeps them lush and healthy going into fall and then into winter. They end up being healthier through the winter and coming into spring as well. So there is our acid mix fertilizer. Happy gardening. Delish. Sweet.